Lando Norris is one of the most exciting young drivers on the grid. Back when he was a junior racer, he was already collecting trophies and making a name for himself. For any other driver, their aim at that age would have been the illustrious Red Bull Junior team, but Lando has said that he is glad that he wasn't a part of the Red Bull Junior team. So, why was he so keen to avoid the program? And has it worked out for him? Stay tuned to find out. First up, baby Lando. Like every racing driver, Lando started out with karting. His karting career got off to a slow start, but 2 years into it, and he already managed third place at the 2010 Super 1 National Championship. Another 2 years, and he won his first title. After that, he raced with Ricky Flynn Motorsport Team and went on to win a bunch more titles. When he was 14 years old, he was promoted to junior racing, which is a step up from karting. This is where all the young Formula 1 hopefuls compete to get noticed by scouts. Lando won the MSA Formula Championship, the Formula Renault 2.0, and the Toyota Racing Series, and some other titles to establish himself as an up-and-coming talent. He was picked up by the Carlin Motorsport Team, which is famous for mentoring the likes of Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg, Daniel Ricciardo, and Carlos Sainz. At the time, Trevor Carlin, who is the founder and team principal, said that Lando Norris has the potential to be the next big star in F1. That means a lot coming from a manager who has helped create a world champion. When Lando finally made his way to McLaren for testing in 2017, he was the second fastest in the season. Then, after driving into a few practice sessions during the 2018 season, he was called up to drive alongside Carlos Sainz in the big team. He was just 19 at the time, but in his rookie year, he consistently finished in the points. This was an impressive achievement considering that McLaren was still in their rebuilding phase. With a good car beneath him, he's definitely capable of a world championship. And can you believe he's still only 22? Up next, the Red Bull program. Lando's path to Formula 1 was full of achievements. Maybe that's why he's not a big fan of the young Red Bull program. In an episode of the Beyond the Grid podcast, he told the interviewer that he was glad that he never joined the program. He said, "Once you're in, you're on a tight leash with what you can do." He thought that it limited the choices and opportunities that a young driver can take because they are being so closely managed by the team. Maybe he has a point. Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon are both talented drivers who are a part of the Red Bull stable. They were managed and kept in the junior team of Toro Rosso until they were ready to graduate to Red Bull. But once they were there, the pressure was high and they both struggled to perform. Once they failed, they were sent back down into limbo at Toro Rosso, which is now AlphaTauri. The structure that Red Bull has designed allows them to test drivers at all different levels. It starts in junior racing, goes through a less competitive Formula 1 car, and finally with a race-winning car. If a driver can tick all of the boxes, as Max Verstappen did, then the reward is a chance at the World Championship. They have been the biggest rival of Mercedes for years, until they toppled them last year. And this season, they are still at the top, this time fighting with Ferrari. It's a big reward, but the path there is full of pain, sacrifice, and plenty of pressure. Could Lando possibly end up at Red Bull one day? And how did his upbringing influence the way he looks at the Red Bull program? Don't go anywhere, because all of that is coming right up. One of the reasons Lando might have been happy to avoid the Red Bull Junior team was that he had different ways to fund his career. Racing is expensive. That shouldn't surprise anyone. Formula 1 is full of million-dollar machines, backed by the biggest investors in the world, and teams pay their drivers up to $50 million a year. But even for junior racing, years before Formula 1 is even a prospect, you need a lot of money to compete. Just a season of Formula 3 can cost more than $700,000. When you add up all the different series and competitions that young drivers need to go through on their way up the Formula 1 mountain, it can reach millions of dollars. That is, if you don't have sponsorship or financial backing. For Lando, his family was able to help out a lot more than others. His father, Adam Norris, is worth an estimated $250 million. No doubt, this has made his journey a little easier and given him some more freedom in his career. That's why he was glad that he didn't join the Red Bull program. But for drivers who aren't lucky enough to come from wealthy families, the Red Bull Junior team can offer a pathway. The program was started in the early 2000s and is headed by Helmut Marko. The goal is to identify and promote young talent. Red Bull funds young drivers all the way through junior racing, which they would normally struggle to afford. So Lando might not be a fan of Red Bull, but plenty of drivers who have been given opportunities by them are. Lando may not have gone down the Red Bull path, but it certainly seems to be working out for him. At McLaren, he has found his perfect home. McLaren CEO Zak Brown has said that he first became interested in Lando as far back as 2014. Brown said in an interview that he believed Lando was on the same level as Verstappen and Hamilton in terms of speed, and that's high praise coming from someone like Brown. He was a professional racing driver turned businessman. In 1995, while still racing, he founded Just Marketing International, which is now the biggest motorsport marketing agency in the world. The company sponsors NASCAR, Indy Series, MotoGP, and even Formula 1. It has a big influence on global motorsport, and that's why McLaren was so excited to hire hire him as executive director in 2016. Brown's trust in Lando is an important part of Lando's career. It has allowed him to grow and become comfortable in the team, and the results speak for themselves. In his second year in the sport, Lando snatched a podium and finished the year with 97 points. Keep in mind, this was where Mercedes won 13 out of 17 races, and Max Verstappen wasn't far behind. The next year, he did even better, scoring 4 podiums and finishing the season in 6th, above Charles Leclerc's Ferrari. Since last year, he's been partnered with Daniel Ricciardo, despite Ricciardo getting a race win. Lando clearly had the measure of his Australian teammate. This year is looking like more of the same. Lando has already scored more than triple the points than Ricciardo has. It's early days, but Lando certainly isn't losing confidence. Up next, 2022 still not clicking for McLaren. McLaren had a bumpy start to the start of the year. Lando finished the opening race in P15, and McLaren's fans were fearing the worst. But they have bounced back magnificently. At the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Lando managed a third-place finish behind the 2 Red Bulls. Whatever McLaren has done, it's working. They seem to be in dire straits at the beginning of the season and have managed to turn it around. Mercedes might want to take a leaf out of their book. They have been struggling to get on top of their porpoising problem, which is thought to unlock their performance. There were some fears that the Mercedes power unit was to blame because all of the Mercedes customer teams got off to a slow start. But McLaren has proved that it's not the engine's fault. Lando will be enjoying some hard-earned success, but the team is still not giving him race wins. At the moment, there are only 2 teams that could offer him race wins and a possible world championship: Ferrari and Red Bull. He might have to eat his words if he wants a chance at a Red Bull seat. He might not have believed in the junior program, but there's no denying their success. And with Sergio Perez threatening to quit Formula 1 if there are any more races added to the calendar, there might actually be a seat open for Lando. It's a long shot, especially considering they have their own junior drivers, Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon, but in F1, you never say never. Do you think the Red Bull program is good for young drivers? And did Lando turn out better by avoiding it? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.